recently launched the Thar in India, and Jeep already sold the Wrangler and the Compass and things like that. But is it where the Jeep story ends in India? Well, I don't think so. Because you see, there's a little town called Mandi Dabwali in Haryana. Now people here love their Jeeps and their four-wheel drives. So much so that there's a bustling industry here recreating old Jeeps and giving new life to these old four-wheel drives. We too have come to try out one of these reincarnated Jeeps, and here is how they fare. So this is a Mahindra, which was again an auction vehicle which has been completely refurbished. Now this Jeep has already been sold and the customer has spec'd it up to what you see right now. So as a result, it's got a aftermarket bull bar, which is again made in-house in Mandi. Spotties in the front, nice little bull bar up front, LED headlamps, a very Jeepish grille, and a Thar insignia out here covers the AC, condenser and the fan and the power steering pump. Now this Jeep might look old, but it is very, very modern in every way. Under the bonnet resides a Mahindra DI engine, a direct injection engine, which gives it all the torque. It's very powerful, it feels very smooth to drive, and because it's a completely refurbished engine and it's a Mahindra engine, there is very little to go wrong about it. Now the other thing about this Jeep, which is very interesting, are the tires. Now these tires are nice block pattern tires with new alloy wheels. Now these tires will give you a lot of grip on gravel, on mud tracks and things like that. But the thing about this particular Jeep is this is a two-wheel drive. Now as I told you, every Jeep is customized to your liking. And as a result, the customer of this particular Jeep wanted a two-wheel drive. He wanted probably to hover around time and just look good. And as a result, he's opted for a two-wheel drive system, but you can have a four-wheel drive, of course, at an additional cost. Apart from that, this is again a soft top Jeep. That means the top can be taken up. There's a nice little window pane out here. All of this is plastic, and they've given a nice door aperture also. As a result, these are all old knobs and levers which they use to give you that period feel. I think it looks good. And then for people at the back, you also get a small little window out here which you can open, and then you can roll it up like so and lock it up here like that. Doesn't it look cool? Of course you need to do this also. And it's got a nice little window pane out here, although it's not openable, but at least there's some light going into the cabin. At the back, very Jeepish look, classic elements, no aftermarket accessories or stuff like that. You've got a Mahindra tail light. The only thing which gives away the army background is these lights. Now these were lights which were used by the army when going into battle, and they didn't want the army, the enemy to spot you, and that's when they would switch on these lights. These are very low power but very powerful bulbs which the guy trailing this Jeep behind would be able to see. Apart from that, of course, a jerry can holder. This is something which is a very common accessory found here, and it also houses the number plates. A tow hook. Now this is very interesting. Now this is something which you don't see in modern day cars. This is a tow hook which is a solid steel one, and it can easily tow a Sankey trailer without any problem. So overall, the Jeep looks really smart. Inside too, everything is custom made for the owner. The dash is kept simple with a 3-gauge layout. However, there is a center console which houses the aftermarket AC vents and the audio system. Sandeep tells us that the center console can be designed just as you want. Then he's added a small steering wheel for better maneuverability. Simple and very straightforward. However, sitting on the bucket seats of the Jeep gives you a commanding view ahead. The engine seen here is a rebuilt Mahindra DI turbo engine. We are told that this Jeep does not feature a 4-wheel drive system, and that most orders are for 2-wheel drive Jeeps only. They will also do you a common rail diesel engine or even a petrol engine if you want. The choice is yours. one of these Jeeps has always been on my bucket list. So I could not resist but asked Sandeep to let me have a go. And before he could change his mind, we were on the road. The cabin was filled up with the loud noise of the DI engine, and although it was not fast at all, it had a certain charm to it which was unbeatable. Gradually, we get up to the heavy heights of 80 kmph, and the slick gearbox is slotted into top gear. As the speed rises, so does the noise within the cabin. The leaf spring suspension is now bouncing on a straight tarmac road. That's the trait of leaf springs, you see. Add a quintal of weight in the back and see the change. While I was all set to drive the black monstrosity back to the base in Noida, we had to turn around to explore more of Dabwali. By now, we were sure that Dabwali was the place to go if you wanted a custom Jeep. However, Sandeep tells us that you have to tread carefully. Quality of workmanship is not guaranteed everywhere. Common issues with these vehicles include wiring issues, leaky rubber hoses, and even the odd engine failure. All of this is primarily because of spurious parts. This reduces the life and reliability of these vehicles. So in case you are willing to spend 4 to 8 lakh rupees on one such custom Jeep, make sure that the components being used are proper. Apart from that, the Jeep is a hoot to drive, and although it should not be my daily driver, I don't mind trundling around town or across the odd hill over weekends in this Jeep.